Good morning to my subscribers. A friend of mine suggested that I do a video on each of the clocks that I have and tell the history of them and what I know about them. So I'm going to start with one of my favorites here, this Seth Thomas Roxbury. If you've watched a video on this, you've seen it before, but you can see it again now. This clock is from, I want to say every time April of 1942. It's not. It's from February of 1942, and the movement is from January of 1942. When this clock was new, it probably cost $37.50, which was a lot of money back then. And let me think of what it's made from. It says in the catalog what it is. It's like barreled mahogany or something like that. I know that they're talking about these two things right here, the decorations. Anyway, as you can tell, this is a pretty good sized tambour, and it resonates really well too. And when I got it, the chimes were not working at all. They were completely gummed up, so I had to take the whole movement apart, found every single pivot hole, and I cleaned up the pivots as best I could, and it's running nicely now. Thankfully, runs quiet as a church mouse. And it has the reliable Sangamo motor, which was made from the 1930s till the late 1940s. So it's been around a while, but the motor runs very nicely. It's an interesting motor. It's essentially two motors in one. It has an induction copper rotor, and then there's a little bumper inside of it that makes sure it turns in the right direction. You can flip that around if you need it to run the other direction, like for a Westclock's Big Ben, if it's old enough to have the Sangamo motor. But yeah, and this luckily came with the original winding key. A lot of times it gets lost. I'll pause or stop for a second where you can see this if you ever need to order one. I'll show it again just to make sure that you see it. But yeah, at least I have one of those. Sometimes, like I said, they get lost. And the hands on this are original. I'll get in closer, and the silver dial is in really nice shape for being as old as it is. And this may seem crazy to you, but I decided to name this clock Survivor, since it survived the World War II era, and like Bill Stoddard said, it may have been lonely if its family members had to go off to war. And I'll show you the label too, and all of what that says if you want to read it. And there's the reverse dating. It looks like February of 1924, but it's actually February of 1942. They're trying to confuse you a little bit with that reverse dating. And I'm not even going to try to show the date on the movement. It's really hard to get to for me to show you. And yeah, this clock I'll show you an overall condition of it. It's in pretty nice shape for its age. And let me get that off of there. I hadn't even noticed it. It does have a few scratches, but that's normal, you know what to say. And I'm surprised it looks this good. And coming up top, yes, I know it's a little dusty. Dust comes back so fast. And there's a little minor issue there that could easily be fixed. And it's still holding on, so I'm going to leave it alone. And then, yeah, it just has its normal nicks and bumps. But overall, it looks real nice for its age. And the motor in it runs really nice too. Runs nice and quiet. And I'll show you the recommended way of putting a new power cord on if you're going to. Let me see if I can get around there to show you. It's kind of hard to do, but those are those insulated terminals that you can get at Walmart or Home Depot if you ever need to get them. And there's the chime rod base. It's gold painted steel or iron. It's really heavy. And then in these hammers I put new leather in them, so they sound much more mellow than the old hammers did. And it's fixing to chime in just a little bit, so I'll keep recording back here. It's going to be the first quarter. Bing, 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 bing. You've all heard it. Westminster chime. There's that washer I was looking for. It's conveniently where I can get to it easy with a magnetic screwdriver. The stuff you lose. But yeah, nice looking clock, runs well. Yesterday, when I had the hammers off there, they were getting stuck together real bad. Now they work fine. What? No. This thing's a little fussy at times. Has a personality of its own, it seems like. At least it gives me something to do. That's for sure. And there's your first quarter. These resonate really well. Being it's a big tambour like this, I'm not surprised. And I'll show you what I did to make the power cord longer. Let me get down here. Well, there's something sitting on top of what I need to get to. But I attached another cord with wire nuts. So yeah, if you want to ever do that to one of yours to make a longer power cord, you're more than welcome to. Have a good day. And this wasn't planned, but I just closed the back door on it and the front door came open. That's another thing about this. The bezel, it's a little bit fussy. There. This clock has a personality of its own, seems like. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Catch you later. Bye-bye.